This review is about to be brutal, and I'm sorry for it. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Audrey. I do not usually sound like this. I am conveniently sick for this video, so yay. Today we are going to be covering the first season of The Bad Batch. Yes, first season. It was confirmed for a season 2 that should be coming out in 2022. So if you like this video while you're watching, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe, and let's get started. So I broke this video down into 4 categories. We're going to start with the first category, which is plot. Now, I wrote notes for this that are over here. We are reintroduced to Clone Force 99, aka the Bad Batch, from their arc on the Clone Wars, the last season of the Clone Wars. They find out that the reason that they're made to follow orders is because of their inhibitor chips, which at times they start going off. There's a whole plot with Wrecker where they need to take his out, like Rex had his taken out in Clone Wars. So when they find out that that's the reason, they defect, they remove their chips, but Crosshair stays behind. So Crosshair is the only one who is loyal to the Empire, while the rest run across little pieces of a proto-rebellion, but never really agree to join the rebellion. They just help out old friends and do whatever they can as mercenaries. I thought the plot overall was good. I think this series could have been a lot shorter. There were 16, so this is the 16th episode. This could have been easily 6 to 10 episodes. I'd say 8. Let's give it 8. There's a lot of filler episodes in this, and that's fine. That's how these sort of shows go, but I would have preferred if they just kept the plot running and running and running and running, rather than getting any sort of filler episodes. I think this could have been 8 episodes tops. It did not need to be 16. 16 for a syndicated TV show is still low. Typically they're about 22 episodes, but 16 really dragged. At moments, I think it was fine because they were trying to establish characters, but that wasn't always the case. Some of it was just, there was really a few episodes that were not, there were some that really didn't provide anything to the plot overall. Now, we briefly mentioned it, but I'm just going to give an overview of the characters. Yes, there are 5 plus Omega 6 characters in the Bad Batch. However, we're going to talk about 3 particularly in the form of lead, new, antagonist. So the lead character is definitely Hunter. He's the leader of this group. I think he's a pretty good leader. He's a pretty good main character as well. I think he's very compelling to watch. He's got a face tattoo of a skull, which I'm sad to say I did not realize was a tattoo. I thought it was some sort of weird birthmark. I don't know how I didn't pick up on that because there's clearly skull lines, but he is kind of the leader figure. He's also like a father figure to Omega, which I think is super, super cute. Speaking of Omega, she's the new kid character we follow in the show, which seems to indicate, and it's a cartoon, that this show is for children. You know, at the end of the day, she is the kid character to follow. That's why there's so many kid lead characters in the Star Wars animated series, is so that kids are drawn into it. Overall, she doesn't really fall into the annoying kid trope that I feel like a lot of them fell into. Honestly, I felt it was the worst with Rebels. Ezra just really kind of had that annoying kid vibe. He's a kid, but God, he was kind of annoying. I thought she was going to be more so like that, and I say this and I like kids, so it's not any like crapping on children, but like sometimes they write really annoying kids, because if you're in adult stuff and you have to take care of a kid, that'd be a nightmare. And then Crosshair stands, don't get mad at me, but Crosshair is definitely the antagonist of this series besides the Empire. He's constantly at butting heads with the Bad Batch as a ex-member of the Bad Batch. I guess we'll call him an ex-member of the Bad Batch. I still think there's good in him. I think they confirmed that he did take his chip out, but it really seems like he didn't, since he keeps grasping his head. But I still think there's good in him. if Star Wars teaches us anything, it's that nobody is purely evil unless you're the Emperor. Troubled souls that are looking for redemption. So I think in a future series, a future season, Crosshair is going to come around. Which brings us to 3. Nice segue I wrote for myself in my little script I have going on here. Season 2 expectations. So Season 2 is coming out. It's confirmed to be in 2022. We're having a lot of Star Wars content coming out in 2022. Andor is coming out. Book of Boba Fett was originally for December. I think it might be delayed. Mandalorian Season 3 is coming. Yes, Season 3 is coming out in 2022. We're getting a new season of this. I think this could be a really big year for Star Wars next year. So definitely something to look out for. My expectations for this is, again, like I said, I think they're gonna have more run-ins with Crosshair, and he eventually will come around. I don't know how long they're planning to make this series, but I would say probably not in the next season, but maybe the season after that. This is doing a great thing that the animated series have done, in the fact that they're bridging eras together, and I would say not just the animated series, because The Mandalorian is doing that as well. So this is going to continue to bridge from the era of the Republic to the Empire, and then kind of get us to where Rebels was, and then you have original trilogy, and then you have Mandalorian, and then you have the sequels. So it's going to be a really good bridge between all of those eras. I think this can also tie into The Mandalorian, especially when it comes to the cloning aspect of it. We have little Grogu back there. He is from cloning material. I think that's going to be a setup here in the Bad Batch, especially with Nala Se being moved to a base that appears to be similar to the one that was on the Molten Rock planet that I can't remember what it's called, but it looks similar, but I don't think it's the same planet, but the base looks similar. And I think we are going to continue to see characters from the Rebellion pop up, and more Rebels characters, since we did get Kanan Jarrus, a young Caleb Doom, and a young Hera. Finally, I'm going to compare this to my thoughts on Rebels and the Clone Wars. Now, I personally think Rebels is the strongest series out of the 3. I also haven't watched Resistance, so it's not included in this. And I think, I've said this, that I think Rebels is a better series overall, but I think the highs of the Clone Wars are better than the highs of Rebels. So, the last season, not even really, the last few episodes, and there's a few episodes, I think, in Season 6 that are very, very good. Better than some of the best episodes of Rebels, but Rebels is more consistent and better overall, so I think Rebels is the better show. I would have to put Bad Batch at the bottom for now, but at the same time, this is the first season. I'm comparing it to, 4 or 5 seasons of Rebels and 7 seasons of the Clone Wars, all of which started off with weak first seasons. I don't remember most of the first season of Rebels. I remember the first episode, and I did not like it. It took a little bit for me to get into it. And I felt the same way about the Clone Wars. So, honestly, it's a lot. Like, you have to kind of get into it. So, I'm hopeful for Season 2, and it's always possible that this show could rise and become better than those 2 shows, but at the moment, it's just not for me. But I still did enjoy it overall. And I did mention that I thought it dragged, so I think all of this shows kind of drag at bits of time. I'm sure this video is going to be short because I coughed a lot, and I'm going to have to edit all of that out. So, hopefully, when I film my next video, I won't be ill, and I won't be sick forever. I have a lot of videos coming up on my channel. Titan started on Thursday, so I'm going to finally have to watch that series. Doom Patrol is coming in September. What If is currently happening, so Wednesday will be my video on What If episodes 1 and 2. I'm doing every other week for What If breakdowns and reviews. And Titans and Doom Patrol will be series recaps like this one. So if you liked this video, if you like the series recap over the weekly episode videos, please let me know down below. That way I can get a better idea of what sort of content I can put on my channel. I will let you know, I have videos planned out for the next nearly until October, so if I don't get to one of your suggestions right away, I have it noted down and I will get to it eventually. So I thank you for providing me with suggestions. I really appreciate that you're interested in my content, so I will get that going as soon as I can. But other than that, if you missed my recap of DC and Marvel news for August, you can check it out here. Let me scoot over for the video. This is brutal, y'all. It's also hard to speak when I have a cough drop in my mouth. My voice is just so low and nasally. Oh my god. Okay, is that enough time for you to have clicked on the video? Hope so. I will see you on Wednesday to talk about What If. Bye! I can still sing a little bit.